right, so this is the engine out of the Civic. This is a K24-A2, I believe, out of a TSX Type S rod piston motor. We are worried that this thing is damaged, so we're swapping it with the JDM Odyssey K24A motor. To make this work, there's a few small things I needed to address. For starters, this engine uses a upper coolant housing, as opposed to this engine that has the radiator fitting coming out of the front of the head right there. So I had to swap the housing over, and then that gave me the radiator fitting, but then I also have a different bypass to work with. So I had to pick up one of these, which takes care of the bypass location. With this guy sticking out and just playing around with some ideas there. And yeah, that handles that. So we should be about there. I've got to figure out how I'm gonna get the heater core from here up to here, because the standard heater core line doesn't fit. So this doesn't work because it just runs into everything. But it's good up till about here. What I think I want to do is load this in, put that in there, and then weld a bead just somewhere around like there. So yeah, project right now, before I call it a weekend, is I'm going to do some of the downpipe on the engine. There's no point in waiting to do it until it's in the car, because I know most of my dimensions because I can look at the old pictures. So I'm gonna load the turbo up and build a downpipe till about here, and probably V-band it from there. So we'll see. Keep you in the loop. All right, downpipe time. So I'm gonna do a couple different things here. For starters, they had this neck on the wastegate that brought it from here out to like here and faced it like up. It's kind of a strange design. I don't know why they did it that way. I'd imagine I'm about to find out, because I'm gonna leave it as it is and just work around it. The downpipe they had, the actual construction's not great, but the shape is pretty good. I'm gonna try to just keep the much of the shape, just have the bend come out, you know, as close as I can, keep connected to this bend here, and then I think I'm just gonna try to fit it into this little slot. And so hopefully the end result is that I'm tucked a little tighter on the downpipe than this one, and I bring it a little bit further in. So we'll see. That's my plan. It really also kind of just depends on how well I can get a tight 3-inch bend in there. I've got my stainless ready to go. I just need to get to chopping and welding. So we'll see. Well, this is the fun part. So I got my flange ready. I am going to do most of the downpipe out of the car. The plan is to come over above the wastegate, follow this pathway, then come up and over this pipe and down into here somewhere, and then drop the downpipe right there. In a perfect world, I would brace it against the block. I've always wanted to do one. I'm nervous about cracking and whatnot, but I don't know. Real challenges is the firewall is about like right here. So we don't have a lot of room to work with. Surprisingly, I have a fair amount of height to work with. So if I want to bring it up and over like that, I can. But this is only so tight, and I've just got to be really careful with my angles. So I'm gonna tack everything. I'm not gonna do a complete weld. I'm gonna make it so it won't break, and then just go from there. We'll see. All right, so this is starting to take shape. This is one of my 3-inch 90s coupled with a section of 45. The way I'm setting this up is I'm gonna come out of the turbo, and initially I was gonna come straight up and over, so that it came out, it basically came out like this and then just went like that. But I realized that if I kept it at the angle of this 90, it was gonna push it too far out against the firewall, and I needed to bring it further into the manifold. So that's why I went with a 45. So sort of what I'm looking at here is that, and then it's gonna have it turned down till about there. It's kind of hard to see from here. So it's essentially gonna come down from here, come up, and our goal is to have it basically mirror the runner without ever touching. So I want it to be close, but not too close. And then from there, I'll have it basically pair to here. I'd like to get it to about there and get it down and low. And then if I'm feeling frisky, I'll drop the dump into it, but I'm not, so I won't. But yeah, I mean, something like that. We'll see. I mean, the old one dumps about here. So as long as I'm in that vicinity, I'm probably gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna get the tacks. I'm gonna create the downpipe, get the tacks where I want them, and like make it so that the pipe is rigid and not gonna shift around or anything, and then put the motor back in. I'm not gonna burn everything in until I know my shape is good, because without having the firewall there, you're rolling the dice, and I don't want to burn a whole downpipe in just to have to rip it apart. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna burn to the flange, or tack to the flange, then tack to the the up pipe next to the runner, and just get my shape going. All right, this is the final shape. We're gonna leave it here. Basically, I don't want to go any further because I got to make sure that this actually fits. And the other thing is that from here, I should be able to get the rest of the way down to the exhaust without, you know, stressing too much, because it's going to be a 45 to here and down, and I can do that pretty much, you know, like I won't need to have full access like I do here. The dump tube is still very much in question because the clamp isn't right. So I'll have to play with that a little bit. And the way I have it sitting now, it is kind of hard to get to. So that might have been why that little neck was there, but not fully sure yet. So today I'm gonna get the trans taken apart, disassembled, and I got the new case. And goal is to try to get the motor back in the car today. But we'll see. So yeah, that's where we're at. All right, here's the new case. Got this on eBay. These things are actually kind of hard to find, and most of the pricing is pretty outrageous because I guess people smash them up and end up needing cases, and so the market kind of drives the price up. I got this one cheap because it's got a damaged neck for the slave cylinder. So I'm gonna clean this up, grind it, just get it all the way down to aluminum. So, because I think it looks like there's a busted bolt in there that somebody tapped through. So, you know, I gotta make sure I have all aluminum so that it'll weld correctly. So I'm gonna drill it up and then fill it, and then re-drill it, tap it, and that should fix that. And then it should be as simple as just swapping the cases. I still don't know how I feel about running the EP3's open diff. Seems like a waste if I want to take it racing, but at the same time, I don't feel like embarking on this mystery trans today. So we'll see. Depends on how well this goes. But yeah, let's give it a shot and get to it. So drilling didn't work, so I broke up the carbide bit. It's kind of cool. You can see the destruction, and it's a little bit difficult to see with the video, but like very clearly, they just went right through the bolt, and you can see that the thread pitch or direction is like. Also, there's some rust, so we know we're still on steel. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep blasting all the way down until I get to aluminum. So you can see just the remnants of it fighting for dear life. And it should be that. Almost through. You can see the last little bit. Should be just about there. I kind of broke out the cutoff wheel just because my compressor's too weak to consistently grind. Plus this is quicker, and I'm not trying to do anything super precision, but almost got it. Okay, that should about do it. It's kind of hard to see because now that it's so shiny, it's reflecting the light, but I'm down to pure aluminum. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start welding it up, and hopefully this goes well. All right, final product. Threads are in, kind of see them. Need to blow it out, but it's grinded, threaded, should be good to go. Well, going pretty good. I got the trans all swapped over, stack swapped to the new case welded up. Should be good. We're gonna run the open diff for now, and then when it explodes into a million pieces, we'll swap the new trans. But that's about it for now. We're gonna get it reassembled, get it bolted up, and hopefully get it back in. Cool. Welcome back. So the trans is back together. We did it. Me and my boy Andrew put it back together. He basically did it himself, to be honest. I was over there fooling around with the motor, but fought us a little bit, but we got it. So we've got the EP3 back together with a case that doesn't have the back cave in it. I've got the new motor up in the air. I'm gonna put the old clutch back on it. And then we'll be getting this one on the stand. But for now, the goal today is to just mate the transmission to the engine. And then depending what time it is, reinstall or put the new motor on the stand. So that's our goal today. Motor is somewhat dressed. We've got the manifold, everything bolted up, some of the harness installed. We talked about it last night, last night. I think we're gonna replace this because it's looking a little sketchy. So I'm probably gonna work on that. But yeah, the plan is just get it all dressed and dropped on the ground, and I'll consider it a good weekend. All right, so mission accomplished mostly. Transmission on, harness basically fully connected. The motor's about ready to go in. I've got to fix a few little things. For starters, I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do about the coolant, not the bypass, but the actual heater core tube. I have a plan to connect it right here. I've got the actual crossover tube, and I want to connect it to the block, but I have to do it in a way that doesn't interfere with anything. So I waited until the transmission was installed so I could do that. So that's on the list. I should replace this oil feed, and then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about the oil return. Likely just swap the pan since the return's already made and it seems okay. But yeah, I mean, the motor's about ready to go. And then this one's gonna go on the stand. I'm trying something a little different. Went and bought two 14 by 125 rods, and then that'll allow me to slide the stand over and then put nuts on it. And I'll just have to double nut that bottom one. But this should make it a heck of a lot easier to put the stand on, and then from there I should be able to put it on the engine, or actually the mount to the engine stand. So that's the plan there. But yeah, I mean, we're coming on the home stretch, at least for the rebuild, and then it's smash it back into the car, and then promised myself I wasn't gonna touch anything on the car, but I think I might fix this. I just hate that the crash support moves because he wasn't able to get it to bolt all the way in because of the intercooler, it's interfering. So I might just notch it there and put some bracing in to secure it, but yeah, I'll probably take care of that. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for today, or moving forward at least, and we'll go from there. Till next time.